like to say that if you're seeing me, you're having the worst day of your life.
It's been a bit, but we're back, and today talking about Nightcrawler. It's a film about. You're probably wondering what Nightcrawler means, but it's basically about a man who works at night. Um, and he's like an independent journalist, and he films stuff for news outlets. So he'll film something, and then he'll bargain with the head of the one news station, and then he'll sell whatever footage he has, and he has to make sure it's good footage that would really stir up some emotions in the viewers, right? So, and because of that, he tries to find the most brutal crime scenes going on, and it makes it, question morality, and is it really moral to just be shoving cameras in people's faces? And that's what this movie's about. So yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal plays Lou. I don't remember his last name, but his name is just Lou. Wait, is it Lou? Wait, yeah, it's Lou. Um, and he plays probably one of the worst protagonists I've seen. But the thing is, this film does something really interesting where they take the average, protagonist that you root for and just flip it on its head. And it's like, let's just make it the most annoying and aggravating character to watch, and yet for some reason you still slightly root for him, and it's kind of strange. You're probably wondering why, why he's such an annoying character, and why I hate him so much as a character. Don't get me wrong, Jake Gyllenhaal's performance is the best part about this movie. He sells the role greatly. Like, he's one of my favorite actors, always has been. He sells the role perfectly. Um, but he is just an absolute bad person. He just treats everybody awfully. Literally every single person in the entire film is in the dirt in his mind. I mean, he literally states that he hates people. Like, he literally says that in the movie. So yeah, and maybe that's kind of a light spoiler. I'll just, put a little thing there. But I will say before I continue, there will be light spoilers throughout this video. So if you want to just go completely blind, I just recommend stopping the video and watching it, and then coming back, and then let me hear your thoughts on it as well. So through the entire film, you see him to slowly start losing himself even more. He couldn't lose himself any more than he already has, but he does. He continues to just continue to be worse. He continues to worsen himself throughout the entirety of the film until you get to the breaking point at the very end of the movie where you're like, this is a point of no return. Like, how is he getting away with this? How is he getting away with anything he's doing right now? He's just, he's gonna be a free man, but he's literally committing crimes. Like, you'll see what I mean, but I won't say much else like what he's doing, but he's just to say he's doing a lot of bad things in the industry while he's, getting people this footage, and, you know, he's making a lot of money for this news station. So that's why the news station doesn't care if he's doing it kind of illegally. As long as he is getting them the footage, that's all they care about. So it's just the idea that, it was all for the money. He's just a greedy guy. But he's also, even though he says that, he's kind of a hypocrite. There's a lot of things that he'll say, like at the close to the end. He's like, "There's nothing that I'll tell you to do that I won't do myself." But the thing is, there's so many things that he tells people to do that he doesn't do himself. So he's just a major hypocrite in that sense. And he also talks about how it's not about the money; it's about the passion and the project or whatever. But he's never willing to share any of the money he makes. He's very limited on that. He takes majority of the money he makes because he hires this guy, but he doesn't care. He's just an awful guy. He's making money off of all of them. Um, and that's just it's bad. It's really bad. So yeah, he's a greedy guy. While I was watching this film for the first time, I was wondering, maybe he'll change. Maybe he'll become better throughout the movie, not worse. I didn't think he would become a worse individual. In the beginning, I was like, he's kind of a weird guy, he's kind of strange, but he just gets even stranger. And Jake Gyllenhaal just is perfect at showing this descent into madness, and just the evil person he becomes. I mean, he becomes full of power, but he's also just bad. Like, he's a bad person with power, but he's just very immoral. He has no humanity, you know. He doesn't care really. He a good contrast that they do a really good job in this film is this guy named Rick who has a lot of humanity, and he asks questions like, is it okay to like be that close up, or like, to be in this person's face, and then also like the bystanders, just the normal humans. Like, what am I saying? Normal humans, just like the citizens, or like the people like watching. Like I said, um, they could also be struggling, right? And like they'll be like, "Why are you just like showing up here with a camera, shoving it in people's faces, and like at this like dead body, like get away, like leave," And it's like that's reasonable. It's completely reasonable. But to wrap things up, I just want to bring up a few more points. First of all, the crime scenes themselves, they feel very real, and insane, and there's times where he sets things up and he waits for things to get crazy so then he can get crazier footage, if that makes any sense. So for some people, this journalist job is a lot more to bring awareness to horrible things going on, and that's the passion behind it. But for him, it's about glorifying violence. That's like his whole thing. He loves just recording things like that. He just loves it. He has passion for it for sure, but it's a good passion, not really. It's more of a way to just, he kind of glorifies it instead, and it's not a good thing. It's not. Unlike A Taxi Driver, which is not to be confused by the Martin Scorsese Taxi Driver, completely different movies. A Taxi Driver, it's an American journalist in that film, and he is recording during like the Korean uprising. I forgot exactly what it was, but in that movie, he's trying to bring awareness to this horrible thing going on in Korea, right? But in this movie, he's not trying to bring awareness to nothing. He's just glorifying violence. That's all this character. That's all Lou is doing. Simply put, and he'll do whatever he can to get these violent, footage, and then sell it because he wants it for that big money, the big bucks, and he wants to see himself on the big screen. He wants to see his footage on the big screen, you could say. Anyways, that's about it. Overall, the film is like a 9 out of 10. See ya.
Hey, don't film that, man. He's one of us.
Not anymore, Rick. We're professionals. Ease a sail.